family of a CHP officer, everything changed in one traffic stop. The frantic 911 call was just the beginning of a story that turned from tragedy to hope.
I just witnessed a terrible accident, and I did not see the patrolman.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Terrible accident. There's an officer down with no pulse. There's a vehicle pulling him off.
December 19th, 2007.
Okay, listen to me, sir. I need response. I need you to tell me, is it a CHP officer?
A motorcycle officer.
It was a call that would change Carrie Pedeferri and her family forever.
The officer is down and they can't find a pulse on him. He's off to the side of the road.
CHP officer Tony Pedeferri pulled over a vehicle on the 101 freeway just north of Camarillo when a truck loaded with recreational vehicles and fuel collided with them, causing a fiery explosion.
He's off in the ditch, body's a little twisted up.
Experts say a driver high on marijuana sent Pedeferri shooting into the air and at 42 miles an hour. The other innocent driver wouldn't make it out. Air Force military police driving by stopped to help.
Male, unresponsive. We're doing CPR on him right now.
I remember just telling him that I was there.
It doesn't look good. Mark Daniel says it doesn't look good for Tony.
My prayers are with the officer.
Thank you, sir.
And I grabbed his hand, and I could barely feel a response, but he knew I was there.
Officer Tony Pedeferri was 38 years old at the time of the accident, husband to Carrie Pedeferri for 11 years, and father to Samantha, 9, and Hannah, 7.
And people were running around, and nobody assumed I was just there somewhere. But I was watered up in the ditch.
Oh my goodness. Pedeferri has no memory of the accident. He suffered broken bones, a skull fracture, brain bleeds, and damage to his vocal cords. He was in the hospital for months, and when he left, he was left paralyzed in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. At a time, though, Anthony, think, okay, how am I going to take care of my family? What's going to happen to us?
That was the measure of your success. Are you working? Can you do work? Mm-hmm. And now, I can't change a light bulb. I can't do much.
The man who once competed in 10 Ironman triathlons, including 3 world championships in Hawaii, was left with only his arms to use. But it was during his months of rehab, when he was first introduced to hand cycling, a new world of possibilities opened up.
It feels really natural. And when you're out riding, it's one of the few times that you kind of lose the disability.
Hand cycling is his passion. It's how he stays connected with his wife, Carrie. And it's how he makes a living, designing, building, and modifying custom parts for others with hand cycles. 5 years after the accident, this former Ironman represented the United States in London. Yeah, you made the 2012 U.S. Paralympic team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In London. Yeah. That's coming pretty far from where you started. Their daughters, now in their teens, really only know their dad the way he is now and adapted easily to the change. Wife Carrie says not every day is all roses. They have the same difficulties other couples do and challenges that are different.
It's all about love and patience. I choose to be in this situation. He doesn't have a choice.
With his wife's unconditional support, he successfully tackled the obstacles as they come, instead of stressing over what's to come around the corner.
Some people may say, you should plan a little more for the future, but I'm always kind of living for now because I'm never sure, how long I'll be able to stay this physical. There may be a time where I can't, so I try and get it all in as much as I can.
This is his life, but I choose to be a part of it because I love him.
Well, Tony Pedeferri is very self-sufficient. He told me that if he ever gets a flat tire while cycling, he goes to the side of the road and takes care of it himself. And we have more information on Pedeferri's Cycle Repair Shop on CBSLA.com. And guys, I met
Tony, and I heard him speak at a CHP volunteer service luncheon, and I got to tell you, he was the motivation that I think I needed in particular. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he
His
seems
family.
like a real quality character, like him changing the flat tire. That
Yeah.
just seems in keeping with who he is.